is the R32 GTR, or shall I call it Porsche's worst nightmare. In the 80s, Porsche set a Nürburgring record with the 944 Turbo. In came this and smashed it by around 25 seconds. Isn't that right, Andy?
Yeah, amazing, wasn't it?
Welcome to the channel. Thank you for showing us this beautiful build of an R32 GTR today. And I want to get one thing straight, and that's the colour, because this is finished off in midnight purple. As we all know, the R32 GTR never came in that colour. What's the reason behind it?
That's right, Max. So originally this car was blue, and its previous owner decided that it might look a bit better in midnight purple, and I fully agree with them. I think it looks fantastic.
I agree with them too, although the Bayside blue, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so the Bayside blue really does look good. Midnight purple is the ultimate kind of GTR colour, isn't it?
It is, to me, yeah.
And this is the Midnight Purple 2.
That's correct.
Which was on the R34.
That's correct, yeah.
So, Andy, this is obviously quite extensively modified. It's running high power. What power is this running?
Yeah, so last time we had it on the hub dyno, we made just shy of 600, but on a cool day like today, it's probably running about that, to be fair.
Cool,
so, yeah,
cool. Well, I'll tell you what, let's pop the bonnet and have a look under there. So, under the bonnet sits the famous RB26 engine, which is a 2.6 litre inline 6 engine. And, well, the standard figures is the gentleman's agreement, 276 horsepower, but we all know they were higher than that.
A little bit
more. As you said before, around 600 horsepower. Standard setup on this is twin turbo, and you've stuck with the twin turbo setup on this?
Yeah, we've got two twins. We've got a pair of twins on it. They're not stock twins.
Yeah.
They are modified, so they're slightly larger. But we're on about the limit of them at the minute. So, you know, if I was to go down the route of more horsepower, we'd be looking at a single.
Yeah, because these engines are capable of 1,000 horsepower plus, especially when they put them on the single turbo.
Oh yeah.
And the noise gets insane when you go onto a single turbo, and this car actually spits flames as well, which we saw before.
Yeah.
So what are the modifications that have been done to achieve the 600 horsepower?
Quite a lot. So it's actually a stock engine in terms of the internals, so we haven't touched them, other than we've got some ACL race bearings on the bottom end. So we've got taking care of the bottom end, really, making sure that we're not going to do any kind of damage down the bottom. But on this car, it's got, if we start off with the induction side of things, obviously we've got a nice couple of Apexi cone air filters there, which feed the two hybrid turbos that we spoke about.
Yeah.
On the exhaust side of the turbo, we've got a full 4-inch system. So it's 4-inch off the back of the turbos, all the way to the back of the car.
So that's why it was so loud before when we were inside.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, yeah. And then on the induction side of things, we've got a lovely big HKS front mount intercooler on this. Yep. We've got a lovely big Mishimoto radiator that takes care of all the engine cooling.
Surely is big.
And then you can't fail to miss it, but it's rather striking crown is this the Gredi inlet manifold.
Looks great.
I was a little bit unhappy with the complicated independent throttle body system that came on the car as standard, and looked to improve the inlet side of things.
Okay.
And it's easy horsepower.
And did you notice a big difference when you put this one on?
Yeah, because there was a lot of things happened at once, so yes, we did. But we do gradually tune, so we do something, we make the tune to see what impact it's had on the vehicle, and then we move on from there. But yeah, Gredi inlet manifold, we've got a lovely radium fuel rail there that feeds the uprated injectors. We've got slightly larger injectors on this to cope with the additional fueling.
Okay.
But in terms of the engine, that's about it. As you can see, there's no battery in this engine bay. So we've had to, one of the side effects of all this nice stuff is the battery's got to go in the boot. But,
I got to say, it's a beautiful looking engine bay though, isn't it? It just looks amazing.
Yeah, it's clean for its age.
And I suppose all these other modifications which you've put on, such as the intercooler and, as I say, the throttle bodies there and everything that's gone in, you could probably just slap a bigger turbo on and just get the higher power there. Or would you have to do the internals?
I think I'd be happy with where it's at now.
Yes.
So I think if I was to chase horsepower, then I'd probably look at Ford, you know, put pistons and rods in it. And then sky's your limit then, really.
But then where'd you stop for it to be usable?
Exactly. So at this kind of power level, the drivetrain's happy, the stock internals of the engine are happy, and it's reliable performance, I think. Which
And you can drive it on the road as well.
you can drive it on the road.
There we are. I'll tell you what, Andy, let's start it up and do a sound test.
Okay.
And here we come to the back of this iconic car. And how good does this look? You get this carbon fibre lip here, this spoiler, and obviously the quad lights going either side. GTR badge with Skyline there. It just looks proper good. And of course, with this single exhaust exit. Andy, start it up, my mate. Old school. Oh, it's died. Everything all right, mate? Yeah, we're running.
Oh.
No, we're not. He's laughing. What's happened?
You can't make it up, can you?
I'm not going to have to push you down here and bump start it, are we? Battery's gone, probably.
You have to do that again.
We'll put back. Take 2. Here we go. Will it start? Oh, that smells awesome. Whenever you're ready, Andy, let's hear it. Oh yeah, time to get this beast onto the road. So reading between the lines, I think the R32 is probably one of the best Skylines. I think it's the Skyline when you think of it, because the R32 came out in 1989. It was famed for its success, touring cars. This car is supposed to be mega on track. And then the R33, then the R34 are evolutions of the 32.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. To me, the R32 was always the one to have. It's like the OG, hence its nickname Godzilla, which was a phrase coined by an Australian journalist.
So there's actually a cool story of how you came to obtain this car. Don't know if you want to tell me and the viewers.
Yeah, so it is quite interesting. So I won a car in a raffle a few years ago, and I actually won a classic GC8 Subaru Impreza, Type RA. And because I'd won that, I kept on entering the online car competitions, only a few quid a month. And I saw that this car came up on a car competition site, and it just caught my eye. And I've always dreamed of having an R32 GTR.
Yeah.
And so I thought one night, after a few beers, as you do, I thought, I know, I'll enter this competition. So I bought 4 tickets.
For how much?
I think they were £5.99 each.
Okay.
So I was in for it 24 quid. And one Friday evening, I kind of forgotten about buying the tickets.
Yeah, as you do anyway, really, yeah.
You know, and because it was a couple of weeks later, and I get a phone call on a Friday night at home on an evening, and it came up on my phone as George from 7 Days Performance, who was the competition company that I bought the tickets from.
Okay.
And weirdly, they actually bought a car off me in COVID. I had an F80 M3.
Right.
And so I thought it was something to do with the M3. Maybe the owner had rang up and asking about something on the car.
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't. And he informed me that I'd won this car.
So this guy won a midnight purple R32 GTR for 20 quid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's class. Next time you enter the competition, let me know, I'll go arse with you.
Okay.
You seem to have the look. Obviously, we haven't experienced the power yet, because I like to build the anticipation up and then really experience the car when you put the foot down. And I want you guys to see my first initial reaction to a 600 horsepower R32 GTR. But before we get onto the power, you've had quite a lot of work, extensive work done on the suspension on this car, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. So the previous owner on this car used to do a lot of show and shine type stuff, and it was actually on air ride.
Okay.
So consequently, there was a lot of drivetrain issues. You know, we had suspension bushes worn out, we had drive shaft issues. So basically, it was a kind of like rip it all out and start again. So every imaginable bush, we've had poly bushed. We've got, it's got a high cast delete, so they actually came with a rear steer system on these. That's been deleted.
Oh, you got rid of that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's been deleted. We've got all different, every imaginable suspension arm and bush has been changed on this.
Okay. And it'll be interesting how I handle on the roads, because I'm going to have a go, guys. Don't worry. I'm looking forward to that bit as well. So, Andy, what's the horsepower on this GTR?
So we're just shy of 600.
Well, I'd love to feel it.
Well, let's go.
Here we go. The sound is awesome. The RB26 and the turbo lag there, just like it's like a jet plane getting ready to go. That's awesome. It's nice power though, isn't it? It's very like smooth delivery.
Yeah. So we've spent, the car is on, naturally with 600 horsepower, the car is on aftermarket management.
Yeah.
So we're running a Link G4 system on this car, and I'm lucky enough to have a very, very good tuner who understands the importance of not just on throttle mapping. So it's very easy to map a car that goes flat out all the time.
Yeah.
But to give a car drivability and that smoothness of delivery of power, that's a real skill.
And who's the tuner?
That'll be Andy Clark from AC Speed Tech.
Yes, I've reviewed a car from AC Speed Tech. Was the
GTR.
R35 GTR. So kudos to them guys. And I think when you look at the price of these in the market now, £40,000 to £50,000.
Yeah, so anywhere really from mid-20s, but they're cars that need really a lot of work.
Well, you get for what you pay for, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So all the way up to 40, 50,000. Yeah.
I find it bizarre. I know fan favourite is always the R34, but I can't believe there's such a massive price gap between the two cars. Because when you think of it, this is just as good.
It is just as good, yeah. And I think a little bit prettier of a car, if I'm perfectly honest. But I guess it's all down to numbers. The R34 is just that much more of a rare car.
Yeah. Nissan did produce a few of the R32s, didn't they?
Yeah.
Especially GTRs. Have you had any other JDM cars in your past?
I have, yeah. I've been very fortunate to have quite a lot of cars in my time. This is actually car number 82.
82?
For me, yeah. So, of the other 81,
wow.
There's been quite a few JDM cars, yeah.
How does this one stand out?
This is the best I've owned.
Really?
Yeah. I did have an Evo 8 drag car, so I can't kind of put that in the same category.
An Evo 8 drag car?
Yeah, that wasn't road legal.
Yeah, you got a good story, one of them, though, haven't you? How fast? Did you go to Santa Pod or something with that?
Yeah, so it was it was a 2-litre engine that revved to 10,800 RPM, and we made just shy of 1,100 horsepower.
Wow.
It was a very high spec car. It was a grout-filled block, so you couldn't run it for long periods of time. Right. But the car ended up doing a 9.2 at 156. So Max, I've got to warn you when you're just about to take off. Now, we are on a paddle clutch on this car.
Fun fact about me, I've stalled every paddle clutch car I've ever driven.
Well, let's try and fix that today.
I like the shifter. No, I'm going to start with handbrake. Yes!
Go on.
I haven't done it. Oh, this is awesome. Look how thin the steering wheel is. There was one of them on the Evo 5 that I reviewed. Remember Nathan's? Nice steering wheels, these.
Yeah, I believe so. Unfortunately, I am going to change it.
Back to the standard one?
I think the diameter is just a bit too small for me.
Yeah.
So that needs to be about an inch larger diameter.
Yeah. We're going to go down this road here because there's some nice twisties. Because I'd like to experience this car in the corners as well, because it's not just about speed with this, is it? Because they're supposed to be awesome in the corners.
It is, yeah. And we've spent a lot of time and effort getting the suspension right on this car.
Yeah.
Geometry back and forth. but we've got it now to the point where I'm really happy with it.
I can feel it, mate. Yeah, it's nice on the road.
Yeah.
Let's experience it, mate. Yeah, it's a lovely delivery of power. Yes, she keeps on going as higher up the revs, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's strong, isn't it?
Very strong. And the thing I like about this is it's set up to go fast in a straight line, but you can feel it in the corner then. It can really go fast in the corner.
Yeah, it can, yeah.
This is an ultimate weapon in every aspect.
You can feel that touring car pedigree.
100%. It looks good, it goes well in the corner. It sounds amazing. We're only at 4,000 RPM, just listen to how sweet that is. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how this delivers its power, mate. And the way it feels, it just feels connected, reassuring.
Yeah.
Never get bored of that sound. So, thank you for watching. Thanks to Andy for bringing this wonderful beast onto the channel.
Pleasure, mate.
And this is the first time we've had your car on the channel, is it? The Porsche Panamera 4S. So if you want to watch my review on that car, click on the pop-up banner now. But leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel. Thanks again, mate.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.